While Sandra Bullock is famous for portraying a range of romantic leading lady roles, she has faced her fair share of challenges in her real-life love story. When she fell for the bad boy Jesse James, many questioned why she didn't end up with Keanu Reeves. However, what Sandra truly sought was a partner who could provide her with a sense of security and protection at home. Despite believing she had found that with Jesse, her marriage took a devastating turn when he publicly betrayed and humiliated her. As a new single mom, Sandra felt more isolated than ever, only to encounter a terrifying incident in her own home that left her fearing for her life. How did Keanu once again step in to offer his support? Join us as we uncover the heart-wrenching story of Sandra Bullock, who was betrayed by the one person she trusted most. The scandal that shook Hollywood through Sandra Bullock's life, leaving an indelible mark. Why did she choose the bad boy, Jesse James, when Keanu Reeves was seemingly a safer choice? Reflecting on the past, it's clear that Sandra's decisions were influenced by a complex interplay of emotions and circumstances. Despite Keanu's presence, Sandra's heart led her down a different path, one that ultimately led to unexpected turmoil. As Sandra grappled with the fallout of a cheating scandal, she found herself in the crosshairs of another threat, a violent stalker. Fearing for her safety, she took decisive action, filing a restraining order to protect herself. Throughout this harrowing ordeal, it was her husband, Jesse James, who stood by her side, offering unwavering support and protection. In the face of danger, his steadfast presence provided a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. Yet, despite Jesse's efforts to shield her from harm, Sandra found herself consumed by fear and uncertainty. The relentless grip of anxiety gnawed at her sanity, threatening to unravel the very fabric of her being. In a desperate plea for help, Sandra reached out to law enforcement, her voice trembling with fear as she recounted the horrors she faced. "It felt like someone had broken into my house," Sandra recounted, her voice laden with the weight of fear and disbelief. In the dimly lit hallway, she caught sight of a figure cloaked in darkness, stealthily making his way past her bedroom door. With trembling hands, the A-list actress swiftly retreated, securing herself behind the safety of a locked door as she dialed the emergency services. As the events of that harrowing night unfolded, Sandra couldn't shake the haunting realization that fate had dealt her a cruel hand. "It was the one night that Louis wasn't with me," she reflected, her words tinged with a sense of profound regret. Recalling the decision to entrust her son to the care of their nanny for the evening, Sandra couldn't help but wonder about the cosmic forces at play. Why was he not home on that one night? She mused, grappling with the unanswered question that loomed over her like a shadow. The chilling intrusion into her home came mere hours after Sandra had been showered with accolades by her dear friend, Keanu Reeves. His heartfelt words of admiration served as a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of joy and security. "Sandra, you are one of a kind," he had proclaimed, unaware of the turmoil that would soon descend upon her life like a dark cloud. The couple that never was. Their paths crossed on the bustling set of Speed, where Sandra and Keanu's chemistry ignited like a spark in the night. "Ah, she's a beautiful lady," remarked a colleague, captivated by Sandra's radiant aura. "Such a wonderful energy about her and a complete damsel in distress." Their brief exchange interrupted by the demands of the bustling film set, Sandra and Keanu paused for a moment of casual conversation. "How are you?" inquired Keanu, his voice warm and genuine. Reflecting on her time spent with Keanu, Sandra couldn't help but recall his endearing demeanor. "I think about how sweet Keanu Reeves was and how handsome he was," she confessed, her tone tinged with nostalgia. "He would look at me and I'd be like, 'Did you all get together? Did you date him?'" However, the truth was far from the romantic speculation that swirled around them. "Never dated him," Sandra clarified, dispelling the rumors with a gentle smile. The type of guy that I like is very basic. I like very simple, and usually people like that won't come up to you. Unbeknownst to Sandra, her unassuming nature had shielded her from Keanu's affectionate glances. She obviously didn't know I had a crush on her, Keanu admitted, his admiration hidden behind a veil of secrecy. In the end, Sandra's heart led her down a different path, drawn to the allure of a bad boy TV star. Sandra falls for the bad boy. Enter Jesse James, lover of guns, helicopters, motorcycles, the epitome of a man's man. "You're the all-American girl," he asserted, his confidence unwavering. "I asked her out. I'm not going to really take no for an answer." What drew Sandra to him? Amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, Sandra Bullock faced a harrowing ordeal as she sought refuge from a relentless stalker who tormented her for a grueling 18 months. The stalker's alarming journey, spanning over 1,500 miles from Tennessee to Sandra's doorstep, was a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows. Seeking sanctuary, Sandra turned to Jesse James for solace. "No one protected you like Jesse, not in a partnership," she reflected, acknowledging her reluctance to embrace protection within a relationship. "The thing we want at the end of the day is the same, is that we want to come home. I have a home to go home to." Rising to fame, Sandra pinned her hopes on Jesse, believing he would shield her from harm. "When you won, you thanked your husband," remarked an interviewer, highlighting Sandra's profound gratitude for Jesse's unwavering support. "You said, 'There's no surprise that my work got better when I met you, because I never knew what it felt like for someone to have my back.'" This pivotal moment marked a significant milestone for Sandra Bullock, an Oscar winner and soon-to-be mother. Together with her husband Jesse James, they embarked on the heartfelt journey of adopting a little boy, ushering in a new and promising chapter in Sandra's life. The cheating scandal. Little did Sandra know Jesse didn't have her back. It's a cheating scandal that has rocked Hollywood, leaving Sandra's world shattered less than 2 weeks after her triumphant night at the Oscars. He allowed her to adore him publicly, but behind closed doors, he set her up for humiliation. After 5 years of marriage, Sandra Bullock has filed for divorce, bravely taking a stand against betrayal. But Sandra didn't let the turmoil derail her commitment to family. She stepped up and continued Louis's adoption journey on her own, embracing the role of a forever parent. "And I looked at him. I just said, 'Oh, there you are.' It's like he'd always been there," Sandra shared, reflecting on the profound connection she felt with her son. However, despite her unwavering love, Sandra struggled to shake off the fear of not being able to protect her son. Louis's health scare, marked by a grand mal seizure and a frighteningly high fever, plunged Sandra into a state of panic. "You just wake up and you're panicked all day long," she revealed, describing the overwhelming anxiety that gripped her during those terrifying moments. Despite the challenges, Sandra tried to maintain a brave facade. "I'm just one of the luckiest girls I know," she proclaimed, attempting to find solace in the love and support of her cherished ones. Yet, beneath her outward composure, Sandra grappled with the haunting fear of losing her loved ones. "And I'm still convinced that I'm here because someone dropped out, and they needed someone quickly and they know I'm home on Saturday," she mused, reflecting on the fragility of life and the profound gratitude she held for each precious moment. This night changed everything. So when Sandra Bullock returned home, she expected solitude. However, to her horror, she discovered an unwelcome visitor lurking in the shadows. Sandra's tranquil sanctuary was shattered by the presence of an obsessed intruder who brazenly trespassed into the star's mansion. The encounter was nothing short of harrowing, as Sandra came face to face with the intruder, identified as Corbett. Corbett's intrusion was accompanied by disturbing handwritten notes addressed to Sandra, bearing unsettling declarations of affection. Among them, one chilling message ominously stated, I will forever be thinking of you and Louis, my son, as you are my wife by law. Despite the removal of the immediate threat, Sandra's sense of security remained shattered. The traumatic ordeal left an indelible mark on her psyche, plunging her into a downward spiral of emotional turmoil. I wasn't the same after that, Sandra confessed, grappling with the profound psychological impact of the intrusion. Unbeknownst to her, she was experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, manifested in inexplicable triggers and overwhelming bouts of fear. The trauma inflicted by the intrusion manifested in unexpected ways, with Sandra finding herself overcome by intense bouts of anxiety and despair. Simple actions, like looking out of a car window, became triggers for overwhelming emotions, underscoring the profound toll the incident had taken on her mental well-being. I'm gonna die. Something is gonna happen to my body that I can't control, Sandra lamented, confronting the terrifying reality of her vulnerability in the face of danger. As Sandra reflected on her tumultuous journey, she couldn't ignore the unsettling realization of a recurring pattern in her life, a pattern marked by unsafe relationships and precarious situations. I have surrounded myself with unsafe people and situations and put myself there, Sandra acknowledged with a heavy heart. The familiarity of these toxic dynamics left her grappling with self-blame, recognizing that she alone bore responsibility for perpetuating this cycle of instability. Confronted with the stark realization of the detrimental impact on her son, Sandra knew she had to break free from this destructive pattern. Unless I pull it together right now, I'm not going to be around to have the moments that I want to have, she solemnly admitted. The prospect of her son absorbing nothing but fear, trauma, and shame from her was thought too agonizing to bear. Determined to shield him from the fallout of her past, Sandra embraced the daunting task of single parenthood with unwavering resolve. I don't want to drop that baggage onto my beautiful child, Sandra confessed, her maternal instincts driving her to protect her son from the shadows of her past. Despite the weight of her newfound responsibilities, she was determined to rise to the occasion and become the mother she was meant to be. Scaling back on her commitments, Sandra focused her energies on creating a stable and nurturing environment for her son, prioritizing their bond above all else. Empowered by her newfound sense of purpose and resilience, Sandra found herself ready to embrace love once again. My life was already on the track, and here is this beautiful human being, she marveled, speaking of the love that unexpectedly entered her life. Amidst the upheavals and revelations of her journey, there was one constant source of support that Sandra held dear, a person who remained steadfast by her side through the trials and tribulations. Sandra Bullock's candid revelations shed light on her enduring friendship with Keanu Reeves, dispelling rumors of romantic entanglement. I think we're probably friends for that long because we didn't, Sandra confessed, highlighting the depth of their platonic bond. Despite wistful expressions of longing from fans eager to see them together romantically, both Sandra and Keanu remained content with their enduring friendship. Yet, Sandra's generosity extended beyond her inner circle as she shared her safe space with others in need. Expressing her maternal instincts and compassionate nature, Sandra welcomed a new addition to her family, a little girl from foster care. As she navigated the complexities of motherhood with unwavering devotion, Sandra's priorities became unequivocally clear. It's my kids, she affirmed. Reflecting on her journey of self-discovery and resilience, Sandra found solace and fulfillment in her role as a mother. This is my purpose, she declared, embracing the profound sense of fulfillment and purpose that motherhood bestowed upon her. With a newfound clarity of purpose and an unwavering dedication to her children, Sandra embarked on the next chapter of her life with a sense of purpose and determination, guided by the love and resilience that defined her journey. Jesse James then opened up about what he described as being the most hated man in the world, for betraying Sandra Bullock, America's sweetheart, in an interview with Nightline's Vicky Mabry. In a candid confession, he took full responsibility for his actions, acknowledging how he squandered a perfect marriage and a perfect life due to his mistakes. James attributed his behavior to a lack of self-esteem, stemming from a childhood marked by abuse, which eventually led to his betrayal of Bullock during a pivotal moment in her career. Reflecting on his troubled past, James revealed the deep-seated shame and fear he carried since childhood, which influenced his actions in his adult life. He admitted to sabotaging his own happiness, fearing that Bullock would eventually leave him once she discovered his true nature. The emotional weight of his past trauma became evident when he mentioned his daughter, realizing that he was now the same age he was when his father inflicted harm upon him. Jesse James knows he messed up. Years after his very public infidelity scandal with Sandra Bullock, the reality TV star still faces online criticism. "It's the easiest thing in the world for people to take a shot at you," he says. "Oh yeah, you cheated on Sandra Bullock." That's their go-to comeback. James seems frustrated by this one-dimensional view. "Look, both men and women cheat, it happens," he argues. "It's almost like people enjoy seeing someone fall from grace, especially the higher you climb." He admits to dwelling on it initially, but looking back, he sees it differently. "Honestly, I think I way overreacted to the whole thing." James blames the paparazzi frenzy for worsening the situation. "Having 50 or 60 photographers camped outside my house for months, that was brutal," he recalls. "I'm a fighter. That's how I'm built. If you mess with me, I want to fight back." This experience, however, forced him to reevaluate his priorities. "It makes you realize what truly matters," he reflects. "That whole fame thing, it's empty if your life crumbles around you." The fallout from his marriage to Bullock had an unexpected silver lining. James decided to relocate permanently to Austin, Texas, a place they had shared a home. "Looking back, a lot of good came out of the divorce," he says. "It forced me to focus on being a better dad, to be a better version of myself. Getting out of LA and starting fresh was the right call for my kids." James has since married for the 4th time, to drag racer Alexis DeJoria. He believes this relationship has helped him understand why his past marriages failed. "For a while there, I thought I was destined to be single forever," he admits. "Then Alexis came along and it just clicked. We share the same interests, the same music, everything. Looking back, I can't believe I stayed in some of those other relationships. I guess that's how you learn and grow, right?" For many observers, James's interview marked the somber conclusion to a highly publicized saga. Sandra Bullock's resilience in the face of adversity stood in stark contrast to James's complicated narrative of mistakes and regrets. While Bullock's story resembled a classic tale of triumph, James's side portrayed the struggles of a flawed individual grappling with personal demons. As the public spectacle came to an end, there was a collective hope that both parties could resolve their remaining issues in private. Looking ahead, it's time to dispel notions of the Best Actress Oscar curse and focus on the humanity behind the headlines. James's admission of genuine feelings for Bullock and acknowledgement of his own faults signal a desire for closure and redemption. It's a reminder that real-life struggles often unfold behind closed doors, far from the glamour of Hollywood. As the dust settles, let's leave behind the sensationalism and allow these two individuals to navigate their paths forward with dignity and respect. Despite the trials of her past relationships, Sandra Bullock's romantic journey continued to unfold, marked by fleeting encounters and brief connections. 4 years after her divorce from Jesse James, she found herself entangled in a whirlwind of rumors surrounding her alleged romance with Chris Evans, the charismatic Marvel star. In 2014, speculation swirled as reports emerged of Chris's persistent pursuit of Sandra. Rumors gained traction when the duo was spotted attending a dinner party with friends at Craig's, where they engaged in animated conversation until the late hours of the night. Sources hinted at a palpable chemistry between them, with insiders describing Chris as totally her type, despite their notable age gap. Amidst the media frenzy, Sandra playfully downplayed the rumors, suggesting that the speculation was a tad belated. "We've since married and it started breaking apart, so we separated," she quipped in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, poking fun at the absurdity of the tabloid headlines. "We filed for divorce, and I hope everyone can respect our privacy. But we're going to remain friends and share responsibility for the farm animals we've taken on because you just can't abandon the animals," she added with a hint of humor. Photographs capturing their intimate dinners fueled the speculation further, offering glimpses into their brief yet captivating romance. However, Chris's long-standing admiration for Sandra was no secret, as he confessed to adorning his bedroom wall with a poster of the Ocean's 8 star back in 2012. "She's been his dream girl for most of his life, so it would be a fairy tale ending for Chris," a source revealed to OK magazine. Following her relationship with Chris Evans, Sandra Bullock began dating Brian Randall in 2015. Their romance blossomed several months after their initial meeting, culminating in their attendance at Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux's wedding that same year. While Sandra and Brian did not have any children together, Sandra's family included her 2 adopted children, Louis, 13, and Layla, 11, while Brian had an adult daughter named Skylar from a previous relationship. The bond between Sandra and Brian deepened as Sandra was in the process of adopting her second child, marking a significant milestone in their relationship. Their journey together began when Sandra hired Brian as a photographer to capture moments at her son's 5th birthday party. Sandra fondly referred to Brian as a saint after revealing her plans to adopt a second child, despite their relatively short time together. Reflecting on their relationship, Sandra shared the story of how she informed Brian about her adoption plans during an interview with Jada Pinkett Smith on her Facebook Watch series. Despite initial apprehension, Brian embraced the news with happiness and a hint of fear, embodying the qualities of the right partner for Sandra's life. Describing Brian as very Christian and a positive influence on their children, Sandra emphasized their ability to navigate disagreements and differences in parenting styles. She believed Brian to be the perfect parent for their family, regardless of their occasional disagreements. Tragically, Brian's family confirmed his passing on August 5, 2023, after a brave battle with ALS. In their statement, the family expressed gratitude for the support they received and requested privacy as they mourned Brian's loss. Brian's legacy of love and strength will forever live on in the hearts of Sandra and those who knew him.